pure joy of spiritual awakening combined with this very vibrant, fun, innocent vibe. And I mean, you know, what's better than that? I mean,
it's a beautiful day here at Bleed Fest, and I'm here with Steve Day, the composer for Waking Dream.
yes.
So with the whole Bollywood and like, how was that as a composer? How was working that?
It's cool. You know, I've got a lot of experience living in India and playing Indian instruments. So that's been my background, and I'm lucky to have had that experience, experience in both the East and the West, in both American music scene and in the Indian music scene. So this was a natural tie-in, and I really took to it. It was a wonderful experience. The score, again, had to cover a lot of ground, from, you know, like country, rock, instrumental pieces to classical Indian music. Fortunately, my background is a bit of both, so I played that slide sarod sounding instrument in the classical sections, and then played not all of the instruments, but some of the other instruments in the Western, you know, kind of rock section.
It was really interesting rewatching it today.
Yeah,
and seeing how you managed to make transitions happen from the Super Suckers, which is just a hardcore Sunset Strip band that screams at you, into, you know, out of that in the paintball scene, into the sort of a sensitive Hollywood sort of sitar thing.
Tell me about what you did in this project.
Well, the music supervisor is the guy that picks the songs for the movie. At the time when we made this, I was doing TV pilots. And I was like, this was one of the first films that I worked on. And I thought, well, no problem, we can do this in a few weeks. And by the way, it's a musical, and by the way, it's Bollywood. And I was just completely blown away. I was like, okay, so we're going to get country bands and we're going to get indie bands. And then we have to find Bollywood music. You don't put the soundtrack together with the intent that it's going to be an album or listenable. You go scene by scene and you sort of find the tone of the movie and figure out what's necessary. So sometimes a song in a movie isn't really your favorite song, but it's just perfect for that scene. But this movie is so interesting with the whole Bollywood thing and Texas that it just makes for a very eclectic combination. This was a few years ago when we first started this out, and it's been pretty interesting to see that the evolution from early in their career bands 2-3 years ago to an early movie that's just being released, and now it's coming out on DVD, and the movies are, the bands have also sort of blossomed.
Wow.
So there's some songwriters in there that have gone on to sell millions of records.
Can you disclose some of these songwriters, or we're just gonna have to find out ourselves?
Well, I think that there's a lot of scenes in Texas, and so we needed Texas bar music, and one of the songwriters is a guy named Travis Howard, and he was early on in his career banging away on his guitar, and he was sending me music, and now he's written a bunch of big hits for Miranda Lambert.
Oh, wow.
And he's in Nashville, and he's a real successful guy.
Bollywood meets Hollywood.
Excellent. And speaking of Hollywood meets Bollywood, I'm Jules Sanchez. This is Steve Day, and you're watching Bzzzline.com. That's Bzzzline.com.